There are Social Security myths that can cost you thousands and thousands of dollars in your retirement. I'm Beverly, and I'm going to expose 4 Social Security myths that have ruined more retirements than you could possibly imagine. I don't want that to happen to you. Let's talk about myth number 1. It causes a lot of financial anxiety. You'll be relieved to know it isn't true, and I'll tell you why this myth has persisted for over 40 years. Myth number 1. Social Security is running out. Along with this come dire warnings that you might have until 2034, maybe 2035 if you're lucky. The program does need adjusting for sure, okay? But it's not going to go broke. That just is not going to happen. The Social Security Trust Fund isn't a static amount. Current workers are contributing to the fund by having FICA taxes taken out of their paychecks, just like we did and still do if we continue to work. So money goes out, money goes in. Worst case scenario, if nothing is done by Congress, which is unlikely, you'll still get a Social Security check, but it could be reduced by about 20%. Now, before you get upset, listen to this. The Social Security Act was established in 1935. There have been many revisions over the years to make sure it keeps going. Congress always does something. I was in my 20s when I first heard Social Security wouldn't be there when I retired. I was a CPA back then and still fell for that. I became a financial journalist to escape accounting. And that was when I learned the newsroom battle cry. If it bleeds, it leads. I never had to do that because I was a columnist, but the financial media has been fear-mongering about Social Security for years. Another side effect from myth number 1, though, is that the mass hysteria that it creates often leads to myth number 2. Myth number 2. The best age to claim Social Security is 62. Anyone who says you must retire at 62 should lose all credibility with you. They often say that Social Security is going bankrupt, so get it at 62 while you still can. And it's often accompanied by their attempts to sell you products that can help you manage early retirement. I touched on this problem in a recent episode about what age to retire, 62 versus 67. It's a decision that depends on your financial and personal situation. It also depends on your health status and the expenses that you have in your life. You give up 30% of your benefits when you retire at 62, and you're subject to the earnings limit if you decide you need to work. There are no absolutes in retirement. There really are not. And if you believed the next one, which is myth number 3, you might regret retiring early. Myth number 3. Social Security gives you exactly what you paid into it. Basically, this alleges that there's an account with your name on it with all the money you paid into Social Security and Medicare over the years. So you assume you can live off of Social Security because it replaces your income. That's the thinking. It would be great if it worked that way, but it does not, unfortunately. There is no Social Security account with your name on it. Your retirement benefit is determined by a formula, which uses the average index monthly earnings of the 35 years that you worked. Early years are inflation adjusted. But think about this. If you start work at 20 and 35 years later, you decide, okay, I'm going to retire at 55, that will include some of your lowest earning years that will be used to calculate your Social Security benefit. Just keep that in mind. Now, if you're financially independent at 55, well, congrats. But if not, please be careful. If you want to quit your job, get another way to find work that you enjoy to keep contributing to your Social Security benefit for later on. Social Security was designed to be a supplement. It was never meant to be everything you needed during retirement. I know some of you managed to live off of Social Security, and honestly, I'm in awe of that. I am. But officials have done a terrible job educating Americans about what to expect financially when they do decide to retire. One reason I started doing retirement videos was to make people aware of the facts about Social Security so that they can make more informed decisions before they retire. Okay, on to the final myth. I will confess that I believed this myth until right before I retired. It made me mad. Actually, it still does. Myth number 4, you don't have to pay taxes on your Social Security income. That was recently in the news, and the facts were not presented clearly at all. It's true that almost 88% of Americans won't have to pay taxes on their benefits, but about 12% of us still do have to pay taxes on our Social Security income. I was shocked when I learned that I still had to pay taxes on Social Security income at my full retirement age. I just didn't think that would still be something I had to do. In my opinion, if you choose to work during retirement or you have to work to pay the bills, you shouldn't be penalized for that. Okay, my outburst is over. The tax you pay on your Social Security income, if you have to, depends on your filing status and your income, but you could end up paying up to 85% of that Social Security income. In the description, I link to the IRS regulations if you want to explore the details some more. However, that impacts you. Remember that if you're 65 plus, you are entitled to the $6,000 senior bonus deduction, which is subtracted from taxable income. Now, it's not a tax cut, not at all, but it does reduce the amount of your taxable income. So that is a good thing, and it's a break for seniors. The deduction is only for 4 years, so take advantage of it. I explain how that $6,000 bonus deduction works in this video right here. Did you believe some of these myths like I did? If so, share your experience in the comments. It really does help other people. If this video was valuable to you, please like it and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.